What is up, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon breakdown video where we're gonna go break down the newest Pokemon that has been out. So I'm a little bit behind admittedly, but let's get it started with all the information that I forgot to mention. So the last video that I did a map breakdown analysis where I also predict where the gym leaders may be, where the story might lead to, and then some other stuff. But since then, there's been an E3, E3, like, is the convention that people go to where people reveal the trailers and some gameplay mechanics and the new games, basically. And there's definitely some Pokemon Sun and Moon footage there. Now, before I get started with that, like I said, the new stuff that I forgot to mention, or not the new stuff, but the map that I forgot to mention. Like I said, like when it comes to the couple gyms that might not be realistic or what I chose, like for example, like I was thinking to myself, well, not every single gym and every single city is predictable. You know, you could say that there's a forest nearby, but it may not be grass or a bug type gym in the following. So there's not really some place to tell what it could be. Like, for example, how would you ever figure out that, you know, Pewter City would have a rock type gym without you going there? Like, if Red, Blue, and Yellow were the newest games, would you predict that? Like, how would you figure out that's a rock type gym? And you know, that goes for every other gym. Like, since it's by the SSN, how would you figure out that's Lieutenant Surge? Or how would you figure out that it's Erica in the big city? How would you figure out that it's a poison type gym in the following? You know, all these little things where there's like little subtle hints. Like, the most obvious gym out there is Misty's gym and Blaine's gym because it's by a volcano, you know. So I'm saying to myself that there's probably gonna be wrong. The closest thing that I could think of my ratios being correct is 50%, but I don't know what the first gym is going to be when it comes to that. That's just my best guess because it makes sense to me of how, because lately for X and Y they want you to learn and to make basically new discoveries, you know, for new players, to make it easy on them. And the normal type is like the perfect thing to start out in. So yeah, since then, like I said, E3 was a thing. They announced the Magearna movie, and she has a ability called, what was it again? It was like Stormheart or something, Soul Heart. Is that what it's called? Some ability where they showed a clip about Eevee dying, and whatever ally dies and Magearna's next to, it raises the special attack. So you can imagine maybe there's gonna be some Pokemon that will have like Healing Wish or something like that, like Cresselia or whatever else Pokemon has Healing Wish, and like Jirachi or something like that, and that would give special attack to Magearna. Now that could be problematic if Magearna could learn Calm Mind, so oh my gosh, she could be broken, you know. Then again, she's probably an Uber, so I don't know. Another thing is they announced Zygarde Core, like all the Zygarde forms with 10% in the complete form, and it's confirmed to be in Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's not an event Pokemon, so it's kind of interesting because Zygarde was in X and Y. He's found in a cave. Now, as you see back here, like there's the canyon area where I introduced Soliogo and Lunala's being in the whole thing pretty much. So they're doing this as a demonstration. I have a feeling it's gonna be Aftermath. It's gonna be the after game of the whole thing, and it takes a big part of the whole story. I have a feeling it's gonna be just like the Delta chapters. And don't get me wrong, the Delta chapters was like really good. I feel like this is where the route it should be, you know, when it comes to after game, because I feel like after game should be interesting. Because Red, Blue, and Yellow, the only thing that you could do is basically like catch Mewtwo, you know, and I guess face Professor Oak if you have Game Shark. In Gold, Silver, Crystal, you face Kanto gym leaders, and then you face Red. You know, that's really hype. But the gym leaders isn't so much, but Red is. You know, that's something to look forward to. But by the time you reach Red, you won't be leveled up unless you grind. And as for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, besides Auras, like I said about the Delta chapters, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, like, just has the Battle Frontier afterwards, which is fun, but it isn't for everybody, you know? So there's also the other legendaries that you could catch. And Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, there's also the Battle Frontier. There's like a little mini segment of like legendaries that you can catch, and the last of Team Galactic, you know. Black and White, of course, the after game is finding the Plasma Kings, or the Sages rather, the Plasma Sages. And Black 2 and White 2, I don't really recall, I think is the very last of Team Plasma or something like that. And then like the right side of Unova for both of the Black, White, and Black 2 and White 2. X and Y, there is some stuff. I don't know. I'm still at the after game. I haven't played it for a really long time, but Ores has it right. It has the Delta chapters, and yeah, it has really cool moves. What I saw in the Zygarde complete form with that what was it called? The Core Strike. Let me see. This should be here somewhere. Pure Cannon. No, that's Magearna. That's 10% form. Swarm Change, complete form known as the Core Punisher. Is that what the move's called? The Core Punisher is really cool because it actually has like a Z shape. You know, he's just like Zoro, and that's really cool. Another thing is the Battle Royale. There's a Battle Royale similar to the FFA battles, except it's just basically like a Fatal 4-Way for Pokemon. Unlike in FFAs, I think it was like 2-on-2, but you're still free to attack Pokemon. It's like kind of a tornado tag team. I don't know why I'm thinking wrestling, but that's just what I think of. And like I kept seeing like an E3 on my homepage that they're showing off the festivals, and I wanted to know what that was. And I look at the gameplay, and basically it just shows off you battling Haru again, like basically. And it was really cool because the reason you could tell it's the second battle is because the first battle it was just you versus the starter. If you look at the footage right here, Sun, that's what the person's name at this point, has 4 Pokemon, and you wouldn't normally get 4 Pokemon when you get your starters. So, and plus Haru got a Pokemon for himself. Now keep in mind he has a Litten, and you at that point they picked Poplio. So when they picked Poplio, they had a Pichu, and I'm thinking Haru probably has a Pokemon that's strong against yours and the starter that's weak to yours. So yeah, and I'll get more into what it entails. Actually, I could get over it right now. Basically, they're saying that they keep referring to Tapu Koko when it comes to this festival. Now, it's been known that all the islands has some type of deity Pokemon, and I don't know whether it's a legendary Pokemon or a regular Pokemon that represents the island as the deity, you know, because that could be anything really, because Absol, for the longest time, I always thought was the legendary Pokemon, and there's other Pokemon that's been encountered as legendary Pokemon, but are just not, just like Arcanine. So it could be a Pokemon that just represents the island, and this makes me think of Kyoto, like in Japan. Like the way I found this out was through Digimon, ironically enough, where, you know, there's Kyoto where there's like the dragon, like the monkey, and I think there's a turtle involved somewhere, and a tiger, I think, somewhere in there. So it makes me think just like that. Of course, I don't know the exact details of what represents what in Kyoto, or even if I have that right, but yeah. And the person at E3 keeps on talking about Kukui, and it makes me feel awkward because he's saying, oh, it's the dreamiest of professors or something like that, blah 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 blah. He's shirtless. I get it, whatever. I don't know. Point being is, I just find this interesting because, like I said, we have 4 Pokemon, he has 2. I don't know what the alternatives are besides Pichu. I just keep seeing that in the thumbnail, and that's why I clicked on the video, because I'm like, festivals, is that like related to contests? Because I wasn't really sure. I guess they're gonna have these festivals in every single island, and I think they're just in time for the festival, unless this is how they traditionally go for like new trainers, you know, after they prepare just a little bit and come back and fight again or something like that. Maybe it's like first match type of thing, or it is just coincidentally enough you're just on time for the festival, I guess. Just like how Ash is perfectly on time for everything ever in the history of ever. Just like, oh, he's discovering all new Kabutos, or perfectly on time to meet Mewtwo, or some bull, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I was thinking to myself, what is the perfect thing that the after game really needs? Besides like the Delta chapters, maybe it'll be like the Z chapters, but what else could have the flavor, could have like the added taste? I don't know why I'm being a connoisseur right now, but what could be perfect for the after game? And I'm thinking to myself, well, what did it right? Like Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the way they did it right was, you know, they had red, and that's what made them legendary. So besides putting red in another game because he's already famous enough, the only perfect person to put on that mountain or something like that, some place where you could face off a trainer that you haven't yet, because I didn't feel like it was the same thing for like Black and White or Black 2 and White 2 or whoever the heck it was, where you face Cynthia again. You know, it didn't feel right because you just go in a house and they're like, oh yeah, this isn't my house, but let's battle in it anyway, you know. Instead, you climb up on a mountain and you meet the legendary trainer, the original one, who's one of the first ever people to hold the Pokédex to make this thing sensational, you know? So, the only perfect trainers are two of them. One is Gold. Unless they like have Silver or something, that would be sick as heck too, actually. So, three people, if they either have Gold, or they have Silver, or if they have N. Because I feel like those are the only trainers that are notable that you could face again. Because if it's Lance, I guess that would be cool. I don't know, you could do it right with any character. I just don't want, like, I don't know, I feel like they could mess it up if they pick the wrong character. Steven would be cool, but I think it's too soon for him to like be that epic trainer. I mean, he's already an epic trainer, but I don't feel like he's that at that point. And Cynthia, I can imagine. Alder would be cool. Iris would be cool. Diantha, I don't think she's ready. But you see what I mean. I feel like this is like the type of thing. Either way though, that's pretty much it. There is also new 3DS covers with Soliogo and Lunala for the upcoming Pokemon Sun and Moon games, of course, if you want to have a different 3DS, or if you still don't have one. I don't know why you don't. 3DS has probably a lot, like so many great games, and I don't know why you don't have one. Unless you're like a PSP guy or something like that, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But there is new Pokemon, and that's why you're here in this video for. It's already been like a good, I have no idea, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm not sure. I kind of lost track because I was trying to look for Tapu Koko, whatever his name was, because he took forever to find. I had to go look in the video again. So there are new Pokemon, like I said. There is been 2 Pokemon introduced. Actually, before I get to that, like I wanted to do one more thing. Besides like putting Gold or Silver in there, or any other character like Ann or something, I see the Johto starters in the homepage of Cerebi, and this is just for the event for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And I feel like just like they did in X and Y, where they put Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur there, they should definitely put Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile there at some point, you know? Maybe Kukui will go like, hey, by the way, and you go on the second island, he's all like, I want you to have these Pokemon because my father gave you Pokemon and I never gave you anything except for like permission to go leave the island, you know, to get you on your quest. So I want you to have one of these Pokemon, you know, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, or Totodile. And they will have a Mega Evolution at that point. Oh my gosh, Mega Typhlosion would be amazing. Amazing. Anyway, onto the new Pokemon. Instead of goo goo gagaing over other things. Yeah, well, there's Pokemon Go, that's one thing. But yeah, 2 Pokemon at first, and then they added more Pokemon because I'm kind of behind. So, at least we're introducing new Pokemon in this video, and not a different video where there would be more news, unless I refresh this page and there would be something new, then that would be bad. Anyway though, the first Pokemon was the dog Pokemon that was introduced briefly into a trailer. It wasn't exactly introduced. I think they just didn't realize that they walked past it or something. But people were speculating whether it was a deer pre-evolution of Stantler or if it was a dog. It looked like a Pomeranian to me. And it turns out it was Iwanko, the dog Pokemon. He's actually rock type and he is amazing. I actually, like, imagine him in first gen. He would be a dog Pokemon that's rock type that would be fast enough, you know? He would outspeed Geodude and Onyx because all rock Pokemon are just slow, right? So imagine if he was in first gen, he would be completely broken. And he would be amazing. So I'm trying to look for his freaking stats, but I don't see it. Hang on, I think it should be around here somewhere. He has Keen Eye and Vital Spirit. He is the puppy Pokemon. Will bring more as it comes. Okay, well, that's not helpful. And yeah, he would be amazing. And if the first gym is Rock, then his evolution should be around the corner, right? I feel like he would only have 2 evolutions. I don't know that for a fact, but mostly dog Pokemon always have 2 evolutions. If there's one, then obviously I'm forgetting something. There's Growlithe to Arcanine, Houndour to Houndoom, Poochyena to Mightyena. What else is there? If you count the wolves between Electric and Manectric, then so be it. I don't know if they count as wolves or something else, or dingoes or something like that. I kind of consider Electric and Manectric more dingoes than anything else, but that's still kind of a dog. What else is there? There's some other dogs I'm not thinking of. But yeah, as you can see, those 2 evolutions. But that would be amazing. Like, I'm thinking, because there's been like different ROM hacks, like Red Plus Plus or whatever it's called, and like Pokemon Naturia with X and Y Pokemon. That's like a 2nd gen ROM hack with 6th gen Pokemon in there, like, well, 1 through 6, but that's still amazing as heck. And the fact that they're gonna have this Pokemon, and eventually I'm assuming some ROM hackers gonna look at this Pokemon and go like, huh, there's some potential here. That would be cool. And then there's this other Pokemon called Neck Koala. He is a normal type Pokemon who is a koala that sleeps a lot. Now, Neck Koala, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong or something, has, like I said, normal type, the ability to fight sleep, which is a Pokemon ability that doesn't allow you to put any status on it. So if it has like Swords Dance or something, it could be broken because you can't burn it, you can't poison it. You could put it to sleep, but that won't do anything. And plus, it will wake up eventually. But that's the only thing you could do. So it can be broken. I don't think it will have Swords Dance though. I feel like this Pokemon will have Bulk Up, and that could be a problem. Now, yeah, Neck Koala can be a problem. And if the first gym is normal type gym like I predicted, then he's definitely most likely will be in there. Now, those are the 2 Pokemon at first that was introduced. That was like 2 weeks ago, and like I said, I'm kind of behind. Ever since then, I get like I said, Zygarde'S were introduced. They introduced Pokemon Go, Pokken Tournament stuff, and then new Pokemon were introduced some more. The first Pokemon that I would like to introduce is Pikipek. He was 3D rendered and one of the first ever footages releasing Sun and Moon. Like, I kind of like the DeviantArt rendition better because I was so used to the fact like, oh, he's a cardinal. But yeah, he's a woodpecker, unless he's a woodpecker and a cardinal. He looks like only a 2-stage evolution. Besides, I forgot to mention the Neck Koala also looks like a 2-stage evolution. But Pikipek looks like a 2-stage evolution because there is been 2 evolutions in the past, like Hoot Hoot and Noctowl, Tailo and Swalo. I can't really imagine. I mean, I can. I feel like he'll be like a skinnier version of Talonflame or something with long hair. They always have long hair. I don't know why, but I don't see it though. I don't know. I feel like he might just be 2 evolutions as well. Most likely wrong, because I'm usually am, but if just in case he does have 3 evolutions, then so be it. You know, that'd still be cool. I don't see me using Pikipek. He is a normal and flying type as of right now, so I don't know if he's fire type on the long run or if he's staying normal flying type, or if he's going a completely different route. I kind of doubt it, unless he's going fire type. But I'm trying to find the ability. It has Keen Eye and Skill Link, so if most likely it will learn Fury Attack, it's hitting 5 times. unless it's not getting skill link. So the next Pokemon is Grubbin. He is kind of like the Bagworm Pokemon. He has the ability, where's the ability? Let's see. I can't find it. Oh, he has just one. Okay. Well, I feel like he's gonna have 3 evolutions. Usually there's a Cocoon. He kind of reminds me of Venipede. I feel like towards the final evolution, he'll have bigger horns, but I feel like he'll be more on the fat side. I feel like he's gonna be a Bagworm that's gonna be just really, really wide. But he's gonna be very dangerous. I feel like he would be kind of the size of Scolipede, only not standing upward. He'll just be the same wide range type of big. He would be big, and he'll be bulldozing around, and then Team Rocket will probably make a machine that's kind of the same concept, and that's where I think they're going with that. I don't see myself using a Grubbin, to be honest. I kind of like the coloring design because I feel like when it comes to bug Pokemon, they do have different colors. It's not always like fire Pokemon are red, water Pokemon are blue, sometimes at least, and bug Pokemon are blah. You know, it's not always light green. It's actually different colors each time, which is always good. And I saved this Pokemon for last because this Pokemon doesn't really look like a Pokemon to me, but eventually I'll get over it. It's Yungoos. He has angry teeth, and I feel like if I was 5 years old, that's how I draw angry teeth. People call him the Donald Trump Pokemon, and he could be dangerous. Like, I'm looking at this Pokemon, and I just can't help but think, like, this Pokemon, I don't know. I definitely don't see myself using this. I feel like this is the Bidoof Rattata equivalent. Might just have 2 evolutions as well. But I'm trying to think, what in the heck? Where is I know it's normal type, but I can't find it. I can't find it again. All right, let's see. So, new Pokemon called Yungoos. It's always hungry and can be found in Route 1. It is normal type. Ability is Stakeout and Strong Jaw. Now, if you look at those Chompers, then you know he might, if the first gym is in fact normal type, and if he does have an early evolution that's less than level 16, because usually they don't have the first gym up to level 16, unless I think Pidgeotto is like level 14. Silver and Crystal. But if he has Bite, that's gonna hurt a lot. Or like if Bite was still normal type, that would be even more incredible. But that's pretty powerful if you really think about it. He will learn Bite, eventually he'll learn Crunch, he'll probably look angrier, and he's most likely gonna be used by like a Team Eclipse or Team whatever it's called. But yeah, those are all the new Pokemon, and there's also some stuff that I did forget to mention, like Soliogo will have a Radiant Sun phase, and Lunala will have a Full Moon phase. Like I said about Tapu Koko, I don't know what it really lies, whether it's legendary or not. And like I said about the Zygarde forms, just because it's in the canyon, you know where Soliogo and Lunala are at, there's potential where it could be found by the tree after game. I feel like it's the tree because if I remember correctly, I think in that one special, Zygarde was found like in a lab, but they had like trees and stuff in the environment or something like that. I might be making that up, I'm not sure, but it makes me think, you know, it makes me think it's a natural organism, it's a natural cell that, you know, obviously find in the cave in X and Y, but when it comes down to, they put that tree, that environment there for a reason, because it needs to, you know, it needs to develop, you know. Other than that, there is in fact the Popplio moveset that they were introduced in E3 that caught everybody's attention because of Felicify, like I keep mentioning, because he's doing a whole lot of Pokemon Sun and Moon speculations as well. Says that Popplio might be Water Fairy. I don't remember what I mentioned about that. I just remember thinking Popplio will be eventually in the long run water fighting type. And the thing was, you know, they used Popplio in the trailer, and it learned Disarming Voice, and that's a fairy type move. Now, of course, not every move really represents what Pokemon will be. For example, Turtwig has Withdraw really early on, and that's a water type move, technically speaking. Now, all these other moves are normal type. No one ever says that, oh, the starter Pokemon will become normal type. And also the fact is that, you know, there's some Pokemon that learn Bite. That's a Dark type move. Squirtle learns it. He doesn't become a Dark type. And what else? There's Metal Claw, you know, Charmander, except it was too late. There was no Steel type in 1st gen. In 3rd gen, they didn't really change it. It learned Dragon moves, even though Charizard is a dragon. It's not until his Mega Evolution that he becomes one. And, you know, all this other stuff. So who knows? Maybe Popplio will be a Fairy type. It kind of looks like it now because I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see what else could it be. Like, I hope it's a Water Fighting type. I don't have a problem if it's a Water Fairy type, but I feel like not everybody would like that because not everybody are on board the Popplio train anyway. They're more on the Rowlet side or the Litten side. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comment sections below. I am Scar Knight. I have Let's Plays like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Donkey Kong 64, Pokemon Leaf Green Randomizer, Nuzlocke, and also Pokemon Emerald version where I have Emerald Legends and Frontier Fridays. Emerald Legends being I catch all the legendaries and play the aftermath of the game, and of course Frontier Fridays where I go on take on the Battle Frontier and try to beat those facilities and try to get all gold emblems, and that's where I'm going to be streaming soon. So if you're interested in that, then join the White Tigers and Dragons. White Tigers and Dragons are 2 teams split up amongst my subscribers where they fight for the right to vote. And voting is starting really, really soon. Like I said, I need to make that freaking channel trailer, and I will get that done probably in July. I don't know. I'm probably breaking the 4th wall by saying that, but I kind of already broke the 4th wall by saying I'm behind. So I don't know. I will keep up with Pokemon Sun and Moon news more later because I'm already caught up. Finally, any other speculation videos I will make in the future. If you guys want, tell me, let me know if you want me to cover Pokemon moves that they might have in the future. Again, the new move so far is Leafage. And of course, like Soliogo signature and Lunala signature. But that's besides the point. I don't think any other Pokemon are going to learn that besides me or something. Let me know what you think about that. If you want me to cover the movesets that they should have or they might have, let me know that in the future. So, you've been scarred by the night. I'm out.